to implement this. So, first things first, my name is Megan, and I am your spiritual bestie, and I am here to help you heal. I'm here to help you glow up, and I'm here to help you radiate confidence. All right, and I'm also here to show you how to get more by doing less. All right, I'm the founder of Yes God Wellness, which is a womb centered holistic wellness company spreading knowledge about the ancient and sacred technique of V steaming. And I'm just all about the mind, body, and spirit connection, using the mind, using the spirit to hack the body and hack life. So I just want to do a quick check-in and make sure that everyone can hear me. I see a few people in YouTube land. Can you hear me? Can you just give me some type of indication that you can hear me in YouTube land? And Facebook land too. Hear me, hear me. Let me just double check. Actually, I can just go and look and make sure my mic is connected. Yep, I'm on my mic, so I should be fine. Awesome. All right, so we're going to just jump right into it today. Some of the ways that we can stop trying to force things is to really have more awareness, okay? And having awareness means that we have an awareness first and foremost of ourselves, and we understand that the more that we know ourselves, the more that we can custom tailor our life and our lifestyles and our decisions to fit our authentic personalities. Some of the ways that you can get to know yourself is taking personality test, taking the Myers-Briggs test, taking the Clifton Strengths test, figuring out what human design that you have, figuring out what your astrological makeup is, not just your sign, not just your sun sign. Like me, I'm a Sagittarius, but I'm also a Gemini moon, and I'm also a Taurus rising. So understanding how different aspects of your personality work together to create this specific, unique person that is you. This is going to be so important because not only will you be able to gain the awareness of yourself, but like I said, you'll be able to kind of custom tailor a plan for how you can approach life and approach the things that you're currently looking to manifest, because those things always constantly change, and that's normal. But you can also start to alter the way in which you relate and deal with other people. If for example, my Myers-Briggs is ENTJ. Okay, so I'm an extrovert. I'm very intuitive. I'm very much mercurial. I'm in my mind, and I'm very much judgmental. So I can, come across a situation and make a split decision. I'm very, very decisive. It doesn't take me a long time. I don't hem and haw. I don't, pondering all the different possibilities. Not everyone is like that. So if you're not that way, and you have a tendency to kind of, reflect and kind of overanalyze things without making a decision, you can then say, okay, I know this about myself, so let me set up some rules for myself that make decisions easier. Let me set up some actual kind of like boundaries around this particular thing in my life and this particular thing in my life. That way, I have an easy way that I can say either yes or no. I can look at what's at hand and I can say, yes, God, or no, God. Okay. The second thing is to learn about something called Pareto's principle. It's also called the 80-20 rule. You may have heard of it. You may have not. Basically, it is a principle that suggests that there are roughly 80% of consequences come from 20% of causes. Okay. Or the inverse, 20% of consequences come from 80% of causes. So when it comes to things that, again, that we would like to manifest, that we feel like the only way that we can do them is to force them or to do more or to make something happen, is we can look at, okay, is the thing that I'm doing actually going to cause 80% of the result? Or am I turning my wheels and doing 80% and only seeing 20% result? All right. It's very important to learn about Pareto's principle, learn about the 80-20 rule, and then apply it to your life and see where you're putting a whole lot of effort and you're not getting a lot of return, and maybe switch that around and see the areas where you could be putting more of the 20% to get a bigger return back. That is huge, because when you start to do that, you start to realize that things don't have to be forced. They don't have to be pushed. They don't have to be bulldozed through. They can just simply be, you know what, I'm going to give it this much and I'm going to let God figure out the rest. Yes, God. And that's my favorite part, letting God do the heavy lifting. The other, on kind of the third thing that's kind of a play on that, or something very similar, is the principle of the one thing. Now, there's a book called The One Thing that was written, I think his name is Gary Miller. Let me just double check. Is that you, Gary? Yes. Wait, hold on. I don't know. Let's go back to the one thing. Let's go up. Yes. Okay. Gary Keller, not Gary Miller. His name is Gary Keller. Okay. So he has a book called The One Thing. And right now what I'm going to do is practice Pareto's principle and give you the 80% just by you spending a few moments here with me in this video, and you're going to get basically the gist of the book. Now, I'm not suggesting at all that this is a replacement for checking the book out yourself, but I will tell you that I'm going to kind of give you the rub on the book. Okay. So basically the one thing talks about the fact that there is usually one thing that you can switch, that you can change, that you can be consistent about, that will cause a domino effect on everything else in your life. Okay. So it's typically the thing that we are most resistant and most hesitant about and have been kind of procrastinating around. So for example, like me, I know that one of the one things for me, especially as it relates to my business and relates to how I support people and how I help people, is to create content, right? To get in front of the camera, to speak to people, to make myself available for people to know, who I am, get a feel for my energy, and so that I can explain how I can help them. And so the one thing for me is creating that content, is being consistent about, it's not, okay, I'm going to create a video every day, but it is a consistent, okay, I'm going to show up every Wednesday. Okay, now I'm going to show up every Wednesday and every Monday. Okay, now I'm going to, you know what I mean? So it's one thing that, if done consistently over and over, has an amazing, amazing compound effect. All right. So it's a case by case basis based on you and your lifestyle and your goals and what you're trying to manifest. But try and narrow it down and think about, now all of these things are related. Knowing yourself, the 80-20 rule, and the one thing, they're all very closely correlated, because all of them require, first of all, for you to really get clear about what it is that you want to manifest, and then also making sure that you're doing the thing that is going to bring you closer to that with the least amount of effort. As far as me, I don't like to work hard for things. Now, I do work hard and have worked hard for a lot of things, but I also have the self-awareness to know that that has been a program that was given to me in my childhood, that in order to be successful, to have more, that I need to output more. And what I've learned in my spiritual journey is that is simply not true. So isn't that amazing? Isn't it wonderful that we don't have to do all that work and we still get to reap all of those 80% of the results with only 20% input? Yes, God. All right. The fourth thing is to remember that something being done at all is better than something being perfect and not done. All right. So for example, my office is not in the condition that I would ideally love. I would love to have these things organized and put somewhere, but you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not going to allow that to stop me from doing my one thing. Okay? I'm not going to allow anything to overshadow my one thing. I'm going to do it, even though it's not perfect, it's still going to be done because it's better than me stressing out and getting upset about the fact that it's not perfect and then never actually getting to do the thing that I know is going to push me towards where I want to be and this type of service that I want to bring. I hope that makes sense. Yes, God. All right. And then the fifth and last thing is just that I won't go too deep on energy because I'm an energy nerd and I'm into the way it moves, the way it flows. How do we attract? How do we repel? What makes us a magnet? What are the thoughts? What are the feelings? And I will just narrow it down to say this. What we seek is seeking us. Okay. So energy likes to fill a void. All right. And the thing is when we're trying to force things and we're trying to do, and I got to do this, I got to do that, and da, we are not allowing there to be a void. Okay? There's nothing wrong with putting energy into something. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, this is my focus. This is where I'm putting my attention. This is what I want to manifest. This is what I'm looking to happen. But staying in that state constantly becomes a vibration of lack. Because what you're saying is, if I'm focusing on something 100 or 80% of the time, I'm sending a signal out. I'm sending my vibration through my biofield that I don't have this. Because if I did have this, I wouldn't be thinking about how much I want it. Okay? And that goes for anything. When we're talking about manifesting and we're talking about using the law of attraction, using the law of assumption, we have to keep in mind that it's very important to, yes, get clear about it. Yes, define it. Yes, focus on it, but then also release it and let it go so that there's a void created that allows it to come back to us when the time is right, when the path of least resistance has been cleared. Okay? It can't come where there's no room. All right? Have you ever had the experience where you were looking to manifest something and you really, really wanted it, but then you kind of forgot about it and then it actually came to pass? All right. That's because you forgot about it. You weren't thinking about it. You weren't focusing on it. You weren't wanting it. You weren't needing it. You weren't repelling it, because wanting and needing something too much is actually the same as repelling that thing. Okay. So think about that. When you think about something and you're kind of being mindful of, what am I trying to force right now in my life? What thing do I really want to happen that I feel like I'm putting a lot of effort and a lot of energy and a lot of force in? Whatever that thing is, take it and reevaluate it and go through those 5 things that I just went over. First of all, does this make sense for my personality? Number 1. Number 2, where can I be doing a little bit to be getting a lot out of this? Okay. And let me keep in mind also that I can't control anyone other than myself. The third thing, what is the one thing that I could do consistently that will help to bring this thing to me? Okay. Number 4, done is better than perfect. I'm going to go ahead and actually get the thing done instead of trying to be concerned about it being perfect and the lighting and the this and the that. And, oh, but they don't think, and, oh, but what if they feel? All that stuff doesn't matter. Okay. And then the 5th thing, energy loves to come to a void. So give yourself a focus on it. Allow yourself to, ponder all these things, but then allow yourself to focus on something different. Allow yourself to let it go. Okay. So I hope this was helpful for someone watching this. Instagram land, I will share a bit of this with you. You can come over to YouTube and check it out. Please subscribe to my channel and share this if you think this would be helpful for someone else. And if you are interested in any of the consulting or support that I do, please feel free to hit me up. You can send me a DM. I have a work with me link. We can schedule a discovery call. But I love to help people get from here to here with the path of least resistance. That's like one of my strengths, one of my personality strengths and traits. So I love you all. Thank you for joining me. And I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.